What's the best way to price your SaaS company to make sure that it's profitable and you're not actually losing money on the back end side? A way that I have found to price it, I'm going to share with you. And if you're just starting out in your SaaS company, you got the building part done, and you want to know how do I price it so that you don't lose money. So way like to look at it is this. Every time I open up a SaaS company, I always think of what the best possible pricing I can give it to my user. That's number one. Number two is how can I maintain a profit margin between 80 to 90%. Those are my numbers. I want to make sure I hit that. And the 10% will be like 10 to 20%. Let's just say 20%, right? 20% will be the expenses. The expenses would be the hosting fee, the API server things, and the other email marketing thing, and storage, and if there are any CDNs things that I'll be hosting it. So all of those factor in. Those are my expensive, and that's what actually I have to pay for. There's no work around it. I need a good enough server which is fast enough so when someone goes to it, it's not going to take them 3 seconds to 5 seconds just to load it up. So I need that fast server. So that's a must for me. And that expense is going to go out before I do anything else. So the second will be a storage. My way of doing it is I do not store anything on the server that I actually have my application running. I use a third party. My favorite one is a Bunny CDN, as well as the obviously S3 from the Amazon. I personally like Bunny CDN storage because it's a lot easier to go ahead, implement it into your own uh, project as compared to the Amazon, my personal opinion. And then next part is the next expense that I know I gotta pay for it is the emailing part of it. I personally like to use SendGrid as my email provider. So in case when I want to send an email out to the users who are part of the platform, they are the one who's gonna getting it from there. I will rest assured, all the years that I have been using SendGrid, I have probably about 8 years or so or more now that I think about it. And I firmly believe in it. And most of the emails that I send them through SendGrid, it hits their inbox about 95% of the time, which is a great percentage. So these three things in mind, I can open up my SaaS company and do that and then pay that 20% expenses. There are other expenses, but they're not really that big. But these three big ones, so one is the hosting, another one is your storage, then your email. You need to have those in factor. That's at least what I do. I always keep these three things in mind that I know I gotta pay for it upfront. And then comes the 80%, which is the profit. And from there, whatever product that I build, I price that into it. So this is my magic number. So let's say, for example, one of my SaaS company, let's just call it Sark app, which is the analytic company. You can check out the link below, which will tell if you are interested in learning more about it, how you can utilize it. For that particular SaaS product, when I launched it, I started off with just a $30 per person. Imagine that, $30 per person every single month, and it's month to month. There is no yearly fee, and I personally don't like doing that. In the event if I have a product that I'm passionate about it, I'm building it, it picks up stream for about 6 months or so, and then all of a sudden I lose traction, which means no one else is actually onboarding and paying for it, and I'm not scaling it. And if I want to just pull the plug and cut it out, by doing this month to month, it works out perfectly because I'm not obligated to have that particular service up and running for a whole year before I could tell them, hey, I'm done with it. Knock on wood, so far, every single product, SaaS product that I have launched, I have not had to pull the plug. But in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking that worst case scenario in the event if that happens. So always keep that in mind as well. Next thing is that when factor that in, then will be the, hey, how do I get to the 80%? So if I'm charging somebody $30 a month for that particular SaaS product that I built. So let's just say Sark app, right? We're going to stick with that. Sark app is the product that is live, working, people are using it, I'm getting money from it. And that particular platform, all it does is it allows you to keep track of where is the traffic is coming from and which one of those traffic sources are the one that is making the most amount of money for your business. In this case, will be the client's business. And people use it. There are 3 different tiers, and the cheapest one is about $30. And then that's the factor. So if I get just literally about, let's just say 10 people, that's 300 bucks $300 a month. If I take that, put that in my expenses, for those 10 people, I can pay off the whole year, and everything from that point on is all net profit. Literally, it's net profit. And just to give you an idea, the hosting company that I use called is Ionos. I use their VPS for my high-end product. And that particular product, the VPS that I use, which has the maximum amount of RAM, maximum amount of CPU uses, and obviously the traffic will be unlimited, and I have full access, root access to that particular VPS. And that cost is only and only just $500 per year. Imagine that, just $500 a year. And you're probably thinking, my God, Mark, that's a lot of money, $500 a year. Yes, if you look at it from that point of view, that you're just going to fork out money and no one is going to actually pay for it. So the little trick that I use before I jump on over to the VPS, I'll leave it on the shared hosting until I get 10 people paying me for 6 months. Once I see that pattern and people are using it, then I take that particular project off the shared hosting and put it on the VPS. And then if it's going really well, then I dump it onto the even higher one, which is the cloud server, which is a little more expensive, but it works out really nice. So my advice for you, if you're just starting out and you want to save some money, pay the $150. This is literally what I would cost for that one share hosting. Try it out. Get 10 people to give you money and charge them and $30, roughly speaking, right? And then that $30, 10 people, that's $300. The $150 that you're going to pay for the whole year, you're going to net profiting. First month, you'll be down by 50%. For the next following 5 months, it's 100% profit. So $300 for 5 months, that's $1,500. I think that's the math, right? 3 times 5, yeah, around 1,200. Sorry, $1,200 for the 4 months, the profit, and add one more month to it, and that's $1,500 for the 5 months plus the 150. You got about 1,500 plus 1,750 is what's in your pocket, and you only paid about $150 for that particular share hosting. And after 6 months, take that $1,700, take that 500 out of it, you're still profiting about, what is it, $1,150 in your bank if those 10 people continue to use it, and then put it on a VPS, which will be faster, and then promote the hell out of it even further, because now you have a good working product. People are paying for it. And then have enrollment in there, onboarding more and more clients. So this is literally the blueprint that I follow. And if you use this, you're going to be about 80 to 90% profitable in your SaaS company, making a lot of money. And then once you get to the VPS, you leave it onto that. This is what I do. I will leave it onto the VPS until I recuperate or scale it up to 10K. Once it gets to 10K, then I think about going to cloud computing and all that stuff. And then from there, it's crazy, crazy money. And I only have about 2 products on that cloud computing, which I'm paying about $3,000 monthly for it, and it's totally worth it. And from those money, I am making anywhere from like 20 plus we'll just leave that number at that. So moral of the story is this: start off small, start with a share hosting just to validate your idea. At least that's what I do. I start with the share hosting, upload the apps because I pay for it every single month. I mean, every single month, and then I also have one dedicated just for the SaaS companies where I pay yearly money. So I think it's about 250. So for that, I can have unlimited website, unlimited hosting, unlimited pretty much everything. So I put that on the new product. Once I start to receive money for 6 months from 10 clients, and I reach about $3,000 profit there, then I take that from that 3,000, take that 2,500 out, get a VPS, put everybody there, and take the project, put it on that, and that still leaves me with $2,500 profit. And then from that point on, all I gotta do is just onboard people and then scale it to the 10K mark. And once I get to 10K, then the next step will be just to take it even further, because at that point I have noticed that I'm getting about 1 million page views, about 2,000 people actually using the particular platform, and then out of the 2,000, about 1,500 are paying, because some of them are like just trying it on and then go away, so they don't really make me any money. And then the 1,500s, I'm scaling it to further, having more and more people paid more and more using the product. So that's how you scale it. So for you, the number one question you want to ask yourself is, what is the number in the terms of dollar amount you want to make at the end of the year? So let's just say at the end of the year, and if you only have 10 people using it every single month, how much money you would want from those people? The first way that you're going to be doing it, which I know I certainly did, is how much money am I comfortable paying for this service? But that is not the way to look at it. It's what I learned after building so many different SaaS companies. The way to look at it is how much other people are willing to pay for the problem you are solving for them. For example, let's say if I get sick, I go to the doctor. At that point, I want to get better. Money is irrelevant. Doctor could literally charge me $5,000. I'll be paying for it. No problem, because I want to get better. Or they could charge me $100. I don't care. I want the medicine that makes me better. So that's the logical thing that you need to change in your mind, is not what you would pay, is what other people are going to pay for it, for the problem your product actually solves for them. And that is a reason why when I know I went through it, where sometime I will look at a certain service, I'm like, I'll pay $200 for it. It's totally worth it. So for example, I'll give you a live example. There is this tool that I use. It's called Type Less. I no longer use the keyboard anymore as often, maybe 10% throughout the whole day. I literally use Type Less to just talk, because I can talk faster as compared to the typing. And that particular software costs about $150 a year. For me, that's like no brainer. I'll pay for it. It's not even like up to discussion, because it's gonna save me so much time, effort, and stress sometimes when I'm not thinking straight. Uh, yeah, for me, that's totally worth the $150 a year. And then at that point, they're solving a problem for me, which means I no longer have to sit on the computer and type and type and type. And by 10 minutes later, I'm still not done. As compared to if I'm communicating to you like this, this is how I talk. And their software is so good. So what I say to it, it formats it in a way that looks like it's like an essay with the bullet points and the enter keys and uh, the paragraphing and everything else. I'm not trying to promote it, but if you need it, the link will be below. You go ahead, use my link, I'll get a little commission if you want, but you don't have to. You can literally use it. But I truly use that particular software so much so where I'm like, I'll pay $300 for this, no problem. So that's the thing that you need to shift in your mind. What solution are you going to create for a prospect or a client who has a particular problem? So Sark app come from my own issue that I had in my digital businesses where I was getting leads, I was getting customers, but I wasn't quite sure which platform they were coming from and how much were each one of those people were paying me from that platform. I have used Google Analytics. It is great and also very scary because it has so much into it. If you ever use it, you know exactly the pain it has. And I had to come up with a solution for my business where I just install this one line of code literally on a page that keep tracks of the traffic source, whether it'll be from a Instagram, YouTube, or any other social platform, or even email marketing, or even extension that I build that is out there that is gonna bring in the customers for me. How do I keep track of those? So this tool actually does that. It tells me where is it coming from and what is the next course of action that they took before they actually paid me, so that I know where do I need to direct more of my attention to. So for example, if YouTube, I'm getting most of my traffic from, and those are the people that are actually buying my product, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make more YouTube videos so I can make more money. Duh, right? Obviously, for you, it might be Instagram. For somebody else, it might be TikTok. But that tool actually helps me and other people who have used it or are using it, helps them increase their business profit about 10 to 20, even some of them I have talked to about 50% just by using that one tool. And there is 3 different tiers that I actually charge. One of them is like $100 a month. If you are thinking like, oh my God, nobody's gonna pay $100 a month, tell you what, you are wrong. I have people paying that much for it. So it's not the dollar amount that you think is going to be too much. It's the solution that that particular product is providing. And the reason why people will pay $100 a month, because they would know which source is bringing more of the traffic and how is it converting. If a business can make about $10,000 and know which source, whether it would be YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, or wherever, so they know where they need to invest more of their energy so they can make more money. That $100 is pennies to a dollar, literally. Think about it. Sink that in. Let me put things in perspective for you. You and I are obviously the same because we are both web developers. You and I are also web developers, SaaS owners. If you're not a SaaS owner, you should definitely check out the link below that will show you how you can build yourself a first SaaS company in next 14 days, and you get paid for first day onwards. And next step is, what I was gonna say was this: you and I both are web developer. We invest a lot of money in our computers. So at that point, I know I spent about good 5K on my computer. To some other people, that's absurd. But for me, I want the most fastest, the quietest, and the most silent computer, because I literally just switched from Windows to a Mac, and I cannot tell you enough how quiet the Mac computer is. I no longer have to listen to my computer that feels like it's airplane is taking off. And if you ever have dealt with that or have that experience, you know how annoying it is. And my computer, I get it pretty much every other 3 years, and it has a cooling and everything else, but still feels like, oh my God, like the plane is taking off. It is loud because I run the hell out of that thing. The Mac that I got, nothing. Like sometimes I have to wonder if it's even on. And then I realized, oh, it is on because I can see this computer screen where I'm moving around is actually doing something. It is that quiet. So if you ever want to get yourself a Mac, hands down, definitely get it. You will not regret it. So the moral story is I paid that much money to get a computer because for me, that is the solution for my problem. For you, when you're building a SaaS company, what problem are you solving that you can charge the maximum amount of money for the people who are willing to pay for it? Let me repeat it, willing to pay for it. And if you want to go deep dive into it, I do have a course down below. The link will be there that you can actually go ahead and take it, where I tell you literally how you can price it, how you could structure, and how you build your particular SaaS company in terms of platform, and how do you actually get your first customer before you actually launch it, before even it's built. Like if you're interested in learning how to get that as a web developer, you owe it to yourself to check out the link below and go check out that particular course. And I think for right now, this has been my secret that I have given you how I price my SaaS companies, where I am profitable from 80 to 90%. Follow these strategies, rewatch this video. You're gonna be found that if you follow everything I told you, you can easily build yourself a 10K SaaS company in a matter of 3 months. If you follow it, like actually follow it, do the work and all that stuff, you can actually do that. So, all right, man, I hope you really enjoyed it. I'll catch you in the next one.